6 months after Brandon was born, Stephen got a pacemaker put in. He was complaining about fatigue and just low energy, and you got to have all of that, especially with his line of duty. Everything seemed to be fine. We thought that was like the cure-all. If there was any worry, it wasn't going to be regarding, his heart. It would be regarding maybe the job or, just a random accident or something like that for any of us. 2017, we basically decided to take our family vacation, and so we drove up to Georgia. Our plan was to go to 3 different states to go visit all the grandparents and then come back home. We started out our trip to go to Georgia. We drove up on a Wednesday all day. Everything was fine. We got there probably about 1:30, 2:30 in the morning. The next day, we got up, we ran a few errands. So maybe about an hour or two, we were away from the house, came back, and that's when everything changed. My father-in-law, Danny, said that him and my husband, Steve, they were going to go out to the garage and work on the truck. We were, playing Legos, watching TV, and talking inside. About 10 or 15 minutes after that, my father-in-law comes in, and he stands right here to me, and he says, "I need you to watch your reaction in front of him," meaning Brandon. And I said, "What's going on?" And he says, there's been an accident, Steve's involved, and the paramedics are here, and they're working on him. They're using the paddles, they're doing CPR, and it's just constant. It was so quiet and calm, but his eyes were closed, and they're working on him, and he's just laying there. And then they decide that they want to take him to the hospital. We arrived there, and they already had him in the back. They put us in what they called a quiet room, and basically we sat there, which seemed like hours, but literally it was minutes. Then they finally come out, and they give me the news that, we are so sorry, but we have done everything that we can, but he's not making it. He's not going to make it. And then we were allowed to go back in to see Stephen. And so we did. Me and my father-in-law did. And all I could do was go like this. All I could do was just like, really? And I just couldn't believe it that I couldn't feel a heartbeat. I couldn't feel anything. No breath, no up and down of the chest, nothing. And I just couldn't believe it. I just kept touching his body and touching his arms, and I look around the room, and his wallet with his driver's license was sitting perfectly out on the table, and all of his clothes had been taken off, and everything was just off to the side. And I just couldn't believe it. It felt like a bad ER episode. All I could do was just tell him, that I will raise Brandon the best that I can, and let him know how much that you loved him, that he meant so much to you as his son. Then after that, we walked out, and we were still there at the hospital for a few hours. And I was given all of his personal items, so instead of walking out of the hospital with him, or even just knowing that we were going to come back to visit him, I had all of his personal things just in a bag walking out of the ER. So we all get back to my father-in-law's house, and we just sat there. We just sat there at the dining room table and in the living room, just no one was talking. I definitely was humbled to know that if it was going to happen, that he was with someone that he really loved, and he loved his dad. He really idolized his dad. He just really cared about him so much that he just wanted that gratitude. He wanted that affirmation all the time. And he did get it. They had a very, very close relationship. He got that from his dad. And what better thing could he have been doing too is working on a car. He loved tools, he loved cars and woodworking and just anything to be building and using his hands. He loved. I guess I just know that, because I do believe in heaven, and I do believe, that there is an afterlife. I wanted to make sure that Stephen had tools, so even in his casket, I had a screwdriver put in there. I had a hammer put in there, because I figured if you can't build anything here anymore, then you're going to help God build stuff there. And I don't know, it's just been so It's been such a relief that I have God, that I believe in Him, and that I know that Stephen is okay. Even though I didn't get to talk to him one last minute, I just truly feel that he's there. He's with God. God's taking care of him. They're helping to take care of me and Brandon, and I just keep having my faith and my trust in Him. Because, I just truly believe that God has been taking care of us this whole time, financially, emotionally, and I just don't know any other reason or why it would be happening if it wasn't Him. We're doing okay. We are doing okay. God is taking care of us. Family is loving and supportive. Friends are loving and supportive. Our church family is loving and supportive at Church Experience. I just couldn't be in a better position considering the circumstances. That's just how I feel. We go through our channels and everything and go through our feelings and have our ups and downs, but we're getting through this. We're moving forward, and it's all in God's hands. It truly is.